Happy Flosstube Friday, friends! My name is Kari. This is Tiger Lily Designs. Welcome to Flosstube episode number 93. We're getting close to 100. Are you excited? I have to figure out what we're going to do for a 100 video celebration. I mean, there's lots more videos because I do all these other things, but just 100 floss tubes is going to have to be marked TBD on what we're going to do, but it's going to be great. But today is 93. I'm excited. Happy to be here. I hope you, and I'm happy that you're joining me. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks so much for coming back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My channel is about cross stitch and sewing and quilting and knitting and making basically everything in the world of fiber arts. And we just like to have fun and create community and just spread the love and the happiness and all the fun and joy and all the things. Yeah. Fun. Yay. Woo. Okay. So I have my table of contents. Not as much, I feel like I say that often, but not as much as I could have been because I've been busy doing things. But I'm going to run through it real quick, tell you what we're on tap for today. So I do have a finish though. Yay me. I have a stitchy finish. Super excited. I need to get FFOing because I think I want to. So I have a stitch finish to share with you. I have a whip to share with you that I brought out that I haven't touched since November. It's been a hot minute. That's what happens when you do a whip parade. You see some things, you're like, ooh, I want to stitch on that. So I have two Stitchy updates. We're going to talk about the Beanie-A-Long. We're going to have a little bit of Stitchy Haul kindness, gobbledygook. I did a little bit of online shopping. I've got some of that to share with you, as well as we're going to touch at the end about the Beanie-A-Long. We are in week 2, approaching week 3 of the Beanie-A-Long. Lots to share, lots of fun. Let's dive in, shall we? So you want to see a finish because I know that's the thumbnail, so you've seen it. So this was in a fantastic project bag gifted to me by my sweet friend Shelly. This is my other sweet friend Alicia's birthday salve. So we started this back in September for Alicia's birthday. Yay! She finished hers recently too, I think. And oh, I don't know. I think maybe I've only seen the fully finished. It's fully finished. Spoiler, it's coming. It's so gorgeous. So this was her birthday start. I kitted this up with the Vicki Clayton silks right here. So just so you know, this is a tiny little thing. It is, I can't tell you. Well, I'm stitching it on 36 count. It's a tiny little thing. Ugh. So many cursive words. I don't even know the size of the chart. 170 by 60 something. That's just reading the chart. But look how much of this spool. So I use the Vicki Clayton silks. I'm using 36 count, so it's just one strand. Okay, so this is my hot mess of threads because it's a 6-stranded silk on a spool. So when you pull it off and I just use one strand, I end up with all this mess and it kind of just sits on the top. But all of that is left over. So I'm super excited to just add this to start my little Vicki Clayton silk collection to be able to pull from as well. So that's how much I have left over from what I stitched. But let's look at the stitch, shall we? So I stitched mine on 36 count espresso by R&R. I got it from Hollis Hands Creates. I did not iron it for you, so don't be mad. But I did put it on the board, so bonus points. Yay! So fun. She is finished. Now you will note, if you look at the chart, there's some initials and a year right here. Kind of this little space right here would have initials in a year. The initials in the year. I'm always a changer, make it my own type of person when I do historic antique reproduction samplers. I don't stitch usually. I make it my own, change the quotes, add my initials, dedicate it to someone. So I haven't decided. That's the only thing that's not quite done. I have to noodle it a little bit. If I am going to put a year and or initials, what year and whose initials? It's not really about me. I don't want to put my name or my initials and I don't connect giant pears and roses to myself. And I'm not going to just put 2024 when I finish it. So I'm not right now, nothing's speaking to me as to what I want to replace it with. And I don't want to just arbitrarily pick something. So let me know in the comments down below if you have a suggestion. Are you a team switcher? Another team shirt. So many team shirts we need. Team Fudge, Team Frog. Yes, we need that shirt. I'm working on it. Team switcher. Doesn't have quite the ring to it. We need to change. Yeah. So what do you change and do you make it your own? Do you personalize it? Do you change the initials? Do you change the years? Or do you stitch exactly as, WJ and PH from 18888 did. I don't know. So I haven't quite decided. So let me know what you do, or if you have any suggestions of what I should do. Yeah. Well, that's exciting. I'm sure I won't get her, because she's going to need a custom frame. There is no like going to the thrift store and pulling that custom frame. So I'm going to have to get my that's my miter saw sound, in case you're wondering. I have to get my miter saw down off of the super shelf in the garage, because I need to custom frame Harriet Hay, which is done, and then Giant Pear. And I have two frames that I have thrifted that are wood, beautiful frames that I'm going to play. And you know, they're $5, $10. So if I mess them up, whatever, but I'm going to give it a whirl. I'm super excited about it. Okay, so the other sampler, the other stitch that I worked on came out of this bag. And this is the bag that I made for Shelly and I when we went to Amana, which was the last time I worked on this project. Yes, this is the American sampler. Fantastic. So I did do a full color floss conversion to Belsoise. I never used Belsoise silks before, and I wanted to brighten things up a little bit. That's usually my MO. Welcome. So it's a beautiful chart. I loved everything about it. It's about, the sampler was inspired by the great state of Virginia. If you don't know, I live in Virginia, born and raised. I've always lived here, except for the 4 years I was down doing that schooling thing at Clemson. So, but I came back up, and I love this sampler inspired by Virginia. I just felt like I had to have it. And I live like, I could throw a stone. I would never though, but you could throw a stone at Mount Vernon's house. So I'm right here in the fun of it all. So 3 of the founding fathers were born here: Washington, Jefferson, and James Madison. Then there's dogwoods, the state flowers, and on the cardinals, the state bird. Like, I love everything about it. It's just a little too dark for me. So I did brighten it up, brighten the greens up, brighten the blues up, definitely brighten the reds up in the house. That's just, I wanted to do it. So I pulled this one out. I'm stitching this on, well, let me see. Okay. So here is my project tracker card. I am stitching this on 36 count Lakeside Vintage Exemplar. And I started this in November of 23 in Amana. So I didn't fill this part in because it needed to be a little more detailed. So I used another one of my cards and did it this way. So this is the symbols, and these are all the Belsoise that I changed it to. You really can't see much of it because I'm right now, I'm using, okay, oh, and it's in the hoop. Oh, I'm in such trouble. That's because I had plans. Oh, well, let's take it out of my hoop, shall we? That's because I had plans to go back to it during a Zoom night. I had a Zoom night with some friends stitching this week, and I had it set up. I was all ready. Look, feeling ready. But then I did something else during the Zoom. So this is as far as I've got right now. Like I said, I was setting myself up for success to do some Zoom fill-in right there with all that door, which is why I have hanging threads. And then also I was building those 2 windows so I could fill those, and they're filled in with black as the windows as well. So you can see the little click right here. So I was just setting them up for some Zoom fill-in, and then I ended up not doing it, but that's okay. So that is what I got stitched on. And so a finish and a stitch, not bad, but that's it for my stitching. I know. So what else I've been working on is knitting. So let's just switch gears a little bit, and I'll show you some of my knitting. Now remember, we are in it's almost halftime, which you wouldn't know it by the looks of the hat, but it's almost halftime in the Beanie-A-Long. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I am hosting here in the month of February. It's a 4-week. We talked about last night. We had our week number 2 live Q&A. It worked out so much better because the spammers didn't get us. That was super great. It was about an hour long with just knitting friends in the group, which is always great when we are just hanging out and chatting about knitting. We went all over the place. It wasn't just about the beanie. We were talking about hat knitting, beanie knitting, sweater knitting, sock knitting. We're talking about different needles and the sizes and the interchangeables and knots and favorite brands. We just went all over the place. It was so great. And yarn and all the stuff. Just having so much fun. Kind of enabling stitchers to become knitters, maybe. Add some fiber fun to their life. So this week on the Beanie-A-Long was the math. So we did do some math. So if there is a Beanie-A-Long series here on YouTube, if you want to join, plenty of time still. You might have to do some extra homework to get caught up, but there's still plenty of time. Week 1, pre-week 1 was materials. Week 2 was your cast on and gauge swatch. Easy enough. And then that was week 1. And then week 2, which is where we are right now, we're working on the ribbing. So, and we had to do math. So because this is a pattern, this is my own pattern. Yes, I'm going to put my beanie on. I know y'all love it when I just randomly put beanies on in the middle of the videos. So what we're doing is right now we are knitting the ribbing. It is a 2-inch double brim fold ribbing situation. And it's a 2x2 knit, 2 purls, 2 knits ribbing situation, and then just a vanilla knit top. That's what we're doing. But right now, what we're doing, rather than going to Ravelry and getting a beanie hat, we're getting your custom hat. So there's math involved, which is why we did a gauge swatch, because I'm setting you up for success so that you can run the gamut, whatever yarn, whatever size, whatever needles, however you stitch, you are going to succeed in the fit and having a fantastic beanie at the end of it. And then you had to, I didn't bring my tape measure, but we had to measure your head as well. So the circumference of your head, as well as the measurements from ear to ear, basically the height of your head, right? So that you know how tall to make your beanie. So there's a tall measurement and an around measurement, and then your gauge swatch. And so we did some math. It's all in the Beanie-A-Long series. I'm not going to run through the math, but we talked about it, and I'm always here to help you. If you're struggling with your math calculations, you just give me your 3 equations and I will spit out your A, B, C, and your cast on number. It's easy peasy. I'm thinking about making a chart, but that just means I need to sit down in Excel and kind of create this crazy graph. It might be more complicated than it's worth. So anywho, this is where we are with the ribbing. So I'm so close. Per my math, for my head, I need to do 4.5 inches of the ribbing section. Right now, I'm right at 4. So I need to knit about another 1/2 inch or so by 2x2 ribbing before I can shoot week 3's videos. So that's what I'm going to be doing today while this video is uploading and editing and doing all the things. And so then I'm going to shoot week 3. In week 3, we're going to start working on the body. So you can see right here where we transition from the 2x2 rib to just the plain stockinette stitch knit body, as Judith calls it, our pretty stitches. Yes, that's all we're going to do. It's going to be so great. And then we're going to do body stitching for days. Well, not for days, but for whatever your B calculation is. This much. And then we're going to work into the crown decrease. And that's week 4/5. So we talked about it so to access the video is live now on YouTube for all to see. During the actual live sections, it's Patreon link exclusive only. What that means, because we had such troll spammer problems on week 1, I'm now having it be an unlisted video as we go live. So you just have to access it through Patreon. It's easy peasy. Down below, you can join my Patreon, totally free. You do not have to pay. There's no pledge, no nothing to be a part of the Beanie-A-Long. Just come along for the fun. But to be able to get to the link to see the video for next week, you do want to go ahead and get into the Patreon group. I will be doing a poll again to determine the best time and day for the live video. It seems like we have a little more people that are able to make a nighttime situation versus the daytime, which I totally understand, those pesky day jobs. So it's probably going to be 2 night options that we're going to come up with for next week's video to just discuss changing of the needles. Because the one thing we do have to do is we have to go from size US 5 needles and we're going to switch to a US 6. Not tricky. We're going to do it. There's going to be a video. All the videos for the week always launch on Monday. And so on Monday there will be, I haven't figured out the videos yet because those are where I have to finish my beanie first. 2, maybe 3 videos. We're going to talk about also some of the what could happen problems and problem solving on how to do a slip stitch or how to drop a stitch or add a stitch back up if your count gets a little wonky. No worries, we're going to figure it out. But I just wanted to show you that I have been working. That was my week 2 work, right? On the beanie. And then this is another beanie I have on the needles. I'm actually in the middle of working the body stitch. And I think this one is almost to the crown decrease. So chances are I'm going to get this one to the crown decrease, just so I'm not stressed on getting that one done as well, because there's a lot going on in the studio getting ready for all the other things that I do. So I want to make sure that I'm ready to go to share with you how to do it. But it might be with that hat and not the other one. Either way, same beanie, same exact beanie, different yarn. This was Legacy Fiber Arts. The color is Griswold, I think, from their Christmas collection. Super fun. And this is, I think, Stitching with Yarn, Sugar Rush. So fun. Yes. So that is what I've got. And then I also have it in 2 different project bags. We talked a little bit about project bags last week, I do believe, using the leather bottoms. I'm going to put a poll on Patreon. Come vote, come share, come. What do you think? If we were going to make knitting bags, would you rather make a drawstring bag or would you rather make a zipper bag? I like them both. They're obviously both housing beanies, so they both can work with a cake of yarn and a beanie project, and they have all the accoutrement that we need to do it. They're just different looks, different fun. So come along. We're having fun in the Patreon. We got to chat. I come on there. I could drop sneak peeks, all the things. There might be something happening, maybe a little Tiger Shop update. I'm not going to spoil it now, but just, you know, you got to be there to see it. Just saying. So that is the knitting update. Let me switch gears and tell you some of my Stitchy Haul's kindness that came in. So I did get a sweet little package in the mail from my friend Deb. She explained to me that she has quite a collection of linens and she thought that I would love to share. She loves how I repurpose it. Look how sweet this stitch is. Oh my gosh, it's just beautiful, and it is very prim and rose. It reminds me of, okay, so I saw this and I was like, oh, the Jane Austen fabric that I just got from Art Gallery, I think. Riley Blake, oh, pickles, I don't remember who, but the colorways are on point, like exactly what I want for this. So I know exactly where this is gonna go, what it's gonna be paired up with. It's gonna make some gorgeous keepers or project bags, I don't know. But then there was this cute, look at this, black and white. It's like one of the Sue Bonnet girls, the Bonnet girls, but she is very like, reminds me of very like tango. I don't know, this the red and black, the stark colorways is just something I've never seen before. I love it. It's such a sweet little handkerchief corner. So I can't wait to give her a new life. I don't know where or what she is going to be, but she's going to be something fabulous. So thank you, Deb, so much for sharing your vintage stitching with me. And then my friend Lizzie, she from across the pond, she had reached out to Shelly and I and said, I have these two spools that are just like living a sad life on her shelf. Will you use that? Oh my gosh. Look at this beautiful spool. She's like this, that she thrifted and she found in one of those curiosity shops. We call them antique shops, but so cute. And then some yummy, yummy candy. Love that. I should eat my lunch first before I dive into the candy. I want to show it to you before I eat it, but I can't wait. So I do have this Stitchy bird finish. I did not bring it over here, but it was, I think it might be perfect for this. I'm super excited about it. I had it on a spool. The spool didn't have the right girth, the right diameter. So I was going to have to like finagle a way to pump it up with either foam or pool noodlers, or I don't know what it is, but this might be perfect. I'm going to have to check it out and see, add that to my finishing list. So thank you so much, Liz, and some cute fabric she sent us. And then in the package, because she sent it to Shelly first, and then Shelly, took her stuff out of it, so we have matching spools, and then sent me the package. But then she also threw in there for our kindred spirits. Now remember, that is over there somewhere. It's in my project library. I can't even pull it out. But she had, we're changing fabrics. We were using legacy linen, I do believe. Neither one of us were loving it. So we're switching gears because we want to love this stitch. So it's 36 count Lakeside Exemplar for our kindred spirits, a Teresa Koget that we're stitching together. So I can't wait to get that started. Round two start. And then last but not least, also in the mail, I might have done some, so sometimes, I went thrifting, antiquing for my birthday with Patchwork, and we went to like 3 or 4 different, and I got some vintage stitching. I showed you some of those during our haul, but then you get like a little bee in your bonnet, and I'm like, oh, I need more vintage stitching. So I did go on some of the online places that I love to shop, and I found some gorgeous options that, you just have to be able to pull from your collection. Look at this sweet, sweet rose. It's going to be perfect. Roses are red, but these are pink. And so but look at the crochet. It has all the crochet edge. I love the edge almost as much as I love the stitching. So, and it's a set, I think, of 3 or 4 placemats. And then they also had matching linens. So sweet, little napkins, as well as, wait for it, I don't think I can cut these up. I think 1, 2, Oh, 2, 4, 5, 6. I'll have to save these, I think. Okay, I just came up with the whole idea. One of my retreats, I'm going to 4 retreats this year, I think. I don't know. I'm going to some retreats this year, and I always love to like do the table make gifts and all the things. Super cute, fun, make the things. But how cute, look at the little coasters is the moral of the story. Look at these vintage stitching coasters. So what if my table mate people friends got a matching coaster and probably a mini keeper that coordinated together? Is that not adorable? I think it's pretty adorable. So these might not be in the Tiger Lily shop. Sorry, didn't mean to spoil it for you. I'll share it with you. I'll show it to you when I do them, if I do them. But and then I couldn't resist. I'm a sucker for a bird. Look at those sweet bird stitchings. So, so sweet. So that'll live probably on a project bag because it's too big to go in a keeper. And then the same seller had this little sweetie. Now we all know, I know of an OG floss tuber who might be a Super Scotty fan. So I just couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. So one day that might be something special. So that was what came in the mail. All right, so we've got a little bit of a Tiger Lily shop update. I'm just filling you in on what I've been working on in the studio this week. Now, as you know, the Keeper Clubs for January went out. They are out in the world living their best new life. Yay! My unboxing video should be coming up very soon, within a day or two. I just need to edit it and get it up there to you. But there's lots of friends that have already showed you kind of what the January Keeper Club and the goodies that were inside were. April is on the table right now. It's fantastic. Might be listen, they're all my new favorite. That's just the moral of the story. I just love them all. Anyway, but this weekend, I squirreled with the best of them. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know that I did a Saturday stash sale on Stash Unloading and sold some stuff. I'm just trying to make room in the studio because I have so many things coming in. And the room is only so big. There's July Keeper Club, October, and then the Advent. And the goodies, I am procuring and curating the goodies for these things now. Which means I have to have a place to put them, which means I have to clear some space. So this weekend I was clearing the shelves, making room, trying to get rid of it. So I did a chart stash, a little bit of cross stitch fabric stash sale, as well as, and I asked you guys what you thought, and it was an overwhelming, enthusiastic yes, is I have extra fabric from all the keepers of 2023. And so when I make the keepers, I have to decide how many I'm going to make well in advance, because I have to order and curate the stuff that goes with it. Just because I couldn't make more keepers, I really can't. There's only so many hours of the day. But in theory, because I have fabric, I could make more keepers. But I made the decision on how many club boxes there were going to be 6 to 9 months in advance, because I'm ordering the goodies that are in it from these small businesses. Like right now, I'm ordering October's and July's goodies, and we're months away from that, right? So because of that, I had bolts, half bolts, some full bolts, some coordinating fabrics. I didn't use them, but they were part of the same line bolts of previous keepers. For example, here is a fat quarter bundle. If you got the Advent box, and I don't have my Advent keeper, it's over there, but if you got let me grab it. This was the Advent keeper, right? Super cute. And this one, I made this decision last May. So this is the Advent keeper, and you open it up. I don't even know what's inside of it. A project. And so there's all the coordinated fabrics. It's always from the same line and all the fun. Well, I had tons of fabric left because I had bought the whole line to figure out what I was going to use. Anyway, long story short, I made fat quarter bundles of coordinating fabrics. So for example, look, and here is the same cover fabric, but in green. And then all the coordinating colors, I don't remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 fat quarters, and I made a little custom bundle. And there's tons of those. And so I did the same with whatever I had left with some of the other keeper clubs. And my thinking is that if you got the box, if you got a club box and you wanted to make an accessory, whether it be a notion pouch or a thread bed or a scissor keeper or a floss keeper. Maybe you want to make one of my floss keeper patterns because it's a really big girl and you want a coordinating floss keeper to go inside your project keeper. So fun. Or maybe you didn't get the box and you're having a little bit of FOMO and you want to make one like it. Either way, you have options. The fat quarter bundle will make you a keeper. It's a little tricky with the binding, but it should be good of what it is. So I'm offering these up to hopefully help you make a little goodie that matches what you've got. So these are the things. I'm putting them on my website, hopefully before the video's live. I will link it down below. It'll take you straight to the keeper box extras. And so here's April. So there wasn't much for April. This was a Tilda collection. I only basically had the cover fabric and the inside pocket fabric. But really, if you're just making like a floss keeper or a zipper pouch, that's all you really need. So it's just a little tiny fat quarter bundle. And then the same thing. So this is July. Now, what I did do, so those 3 fat quarters, and then this one ends up being, I think it's a yard. I'll have to pull it out and measure it. But because the July club was such a statement, super fuzzy cut panel, I didn't want to just randomly fat quarter cut it because you might not get the flower you want. And it was a beautiful K facet, gorgeous fabric. And so I'm 90% sure that I did 1 yard cuts of the panel, which is beautiful. So that way you can fussy cut your own flower because there were some gorgeous flowers on there. And then 3 of the coordinating fabrics for the fat quarter bundle complete. And then here is the January one that we just shipped out. So you've got the dragonfly and then the 3 coordinating. So just a cute little fat quarter bundle if you want to make yourself an accessory to match your club and help me clear my shelves. Yay. There's going to be some other shelf clearing action coming. I am digging deep into the stuff. So just stay tuned. I will announce it first on Patreon just for funsies, as a way to just share with you guys what's coming up, when it's coming up. So I will announce it there, what's coming and when it's coming, but it might have to do with keeper clubs and extra goodies from the boxes because I did do some bundle sales during Black Friday, I think, of some of the extra stuff, but I still have some extra, some good stuff. And I just, super sale prices, get it off my shelf, help me make room because I have more stuff coming. So that's what I've got. So I am knee deep in getting ready for April. I've got vintage stitching. There's going to be a surprise vintage stitching keeper club drop. Not a club, just a keeper drop at some point. I don't know. It's one of those things where I kind of just get a bee in my bonnet and start to do it. So at some point it'll come. Again, that will be announced on Patreon first and then or Instagram. So those are the way I like to communicate with you guys when it's not Flosstube Friday. If I wait for a Flosstube Friday, it just, it might be too long. So I just randomly do it on a Tuesday. I don't know. So lots of fun. Follow along with me. Stick around on the socials. I like to come on, pop on there and have some fun. So that is what I've got for you guys today. It is busy. It is crazy busy. I've got like T-minus 10 days until I get in the car and hop down to market. Never been to market. Super excited. Seeing if I can find a goodie or two to throw in a keeper club box for July and or October and or the Advent. The Advent boxes will drop on sale on May 1st. Just set your calendar. I've gotten some questions, so I just want to go ahead and throw that date out into the abyss, just so you know. And that's what I've got for you, friends. So until next time, you see me on Monday with all the knitting videos. Week 3 of Beanie-A-Long. Woohoo! It's so exciting. We were talking last night of what we're going to do next, whether it's going to be sweaters or socks or what. I don't know. Just stay tuned. It's so fun. So until next time, friends, happy quilting, happy knitting, happy making, happy doing all the things. And I'll see you next time. Happy stitching.